You've probably heard some version of this before. Just focus on building a great product. If it's good enough, customers will find you. But they don't, at least not immediately. People are not out there actively searching for your solution, especially when they never heard of you. And even if your product is better than what's out there, that's not what gets people to buy. People buy what they understand quickly. They buy what feels familiar, what seems safe, what comes from someone they trust, or at least someone who seems to get their problem. So to get your first customers fast, your job is to communicate clearly, build trust, and make people feel like this thing you made is exactly what they need, and you have to do it fast. In most cases, unless you manage to get something going viral right off the gate, or worked very hard on an amazing pre-launch, chances are that right now you are facing the awkward, slightly humiliating moment where you realize that no one is coming. So you will probably have to go out and get your first customers one by one, manually. Reaching out to people, sending cold emails or DMs, getting ignored, being told no, it is awkward and even a little embarrassing sometimes. You might feel like you're bothering people. You might hesitate to hit send, because it doesn't feel professional enough. But there is no post and pray strategy that works when you are still unknown. So in this video, I will show you how to get real answers fast. And as a bonus, what to stop doing now if you want customers coming your way. What people want, what turns them off, and what actually gets them to say yes. So first thing, before you even think about selling, is get crystal clear on who your offer is actually for. If you don't understand your target audience inside out, their habits, their pain points, what language they use, you waste time chasing people who were never going to buy in the first place. So take note of this. My first tip is go to communities where your audience already hangs out. So if you're just starting out, building your own audience takes time you probably don't have. So don't start from zero. Go where your potential customers already are. Online spaces where they are asking questions, sharing problems, and trying to get stuff done. For example, it could be a Facebook group full of your potential customers, or a Reddit thread where small business owners vent about scheduling headaches, or a WhatsApp group, for fitness instructions, or a niche forum where people obsess over productivity hacks. It all depends on your product or service. And if your product or service solve a real problem, people are already talking about the problem. They are not just on your website yet. So join the spaces where your audience already spends time, and don't pitch. That's where actually most founders go wrong. They drop a link too early, immediately get ignored, or even worse, get banned. So you just have to do it the smart way. Watch, read, see what people are struggling with. Start by helping, answer questions, share a quick tip, drop a useful resource. So just try to be useful, no hard sell there. Then when the moment feels right, when, for example, someone asks about the exact problem your product solves or something similar, this is when you mention what you are working on. So yeah, just try to be casual, like, by the way, I'm building something that helps with this. Want to check it out? Or, well, something less artificial. And that works because it feels real, not like a pitch, but like a solution. And the best part is you are not only getting early users, you are getting language, the actual words people use when talking about their pain points. And that insight will make your landing page or copy, your emails, all of it 10 times stronger. Second, cold outreach. Right, so let's talk about cold outreach. A lot of people avoid it. They just think it's annoying, outdated, or spammy. But the data says otherwise. On average, cold emails have a 1 to 5% reply rate, which might sound low until you realize that that's better than most social media engagement or ad click-through rates. These days, there are plenty of tools that help you find public emails, the kind people share on their website or in their bios, because they want to be contacted for business. So before you do that, always check the data protection rules for both the country you are in and the country you are targeting. But in most cases, if the email was intentionally made public for business reasons, you are allowed to reach out. As long as your message is relevant, you clearly say who you are, and most importantly, you give them an easy way to opt out, like, let me know if you would prefer not to be contacted again. So for example, if you build a tool that helps small businesses manage bookings, you could find local studios, gyms, or clinics that list your public email and offer them early access, a discount, or a quick demo. Or let's say you offer a digital product that helps language teachers plan lessons faster. So you could search for teachers who list their contact email on their blog or profile and reach out with a clear offer, like a free trial, a limited founder discount, just something genuinely useful and specific to what they do. And this kind of outrage is clean, relevant, and works, especially when your message is simple and your offer solves a real problem. But just stay human, don't overdo it and just talk to the right people. 3, partner with someone who already has your potential customer as their audience. You probably don't have an audience yet, so you can borrow one. Look for someone who's already speaking to the kind of people you want to reach. That could be a small creator on Instagram or TikTok, someone who runs a niche newsletter or a podcast host, or even the admin of a Facebook group or a Telegram or WhatsApp community. So let's say you build something that helps gym owners reduce no-shows. Instead of just sending emails to the gyms, you find a fitness creator who regularly shares content for trainers or gym managers, or someone who runs a small newsletter with a few hundred fitness professionals on the list. And then you just send in a quick message, something like, I've built a simple tool that helps gym reduce no-shows. If you think your audience would benefit, I would love early access, so they can try it. So you can try it. If they're not personally interested in using it, you can always offer them a small upfront fee. Nothing too big or too fancy yet. You don't need a full affiliate department to start with. You don't need big influencers or brand deals. You just need small creators with the right following, people who trust them and actually pay attention to what they share. And because the trust is already there, people are far more likely to click, try it, and even become your first paying customers. 4, listed where people go look for tools like yours. So this one sounds obvious, but it's the kind of low-hanging fruit most early-stage founders completely ignore. You build something that solves a real problem, great. Now ask yourself, where do people go when they are actively looking for something like what you offer? And just to be clear, I'm not talking about hanging out in communities or reading forums, as mentioned before. This is about being present in the places where people are already searching for tools. There are entire platforms, full of people browsing with intent. Directories, marketplaces, tool roundups, comparison lists. Places where people are not lurking, they are looking for something. So everyone thinks of product hunt, and yes, that can help, but don't stop there. Find smaller directories specific to your space. So if you build a booking tool, there are niche marketplaces just for that. If it's something for content creators, look for top tool pages, Notion databases, or industry-specific hubs that feature useful resources. And consider where your audience actually shops around. If it's a B2B product, they're probably browsing LinkedIn, Google, G2, similar platforms. If it's skincare or lifestyle, maybe they're on TikTok looking for what people are actually using. If you build a browser extension, get it listed in the Chrome Web Store. If it's an app, optimize your App Store or Google Play listing, make it clear, make it visual, and instantly valuable. These platforms bring warm leads. You are not interrupting anyone. You are showing up where people are already looking. And that's where they're most likely to take action. If you haven't listed your products in the places people are actually searching, you're probably missing the easiest early traction you could get. Number 5, and I love this one, it works pretty well. Host free online webinars that actually convert. So don't just talk about your product, teach something useful that's directly connected to what you sell. So people won't go searching for your tool right now, but they will sign up for something that solves a clear, painful problem they face. So that's why free webinars work, when done right. So pick one specific pain point your audience struggles with. Create a 30, 45-minute webinar that teaches something genuinely helpful around it. Think actionable, clear, practical, not just product demos. So you can run 2 or 3 of these webinars every month. You can promote them using Meta ads, LinkedIn, whatever your people are more likely to hang out online. So focus the ads on the pain point, not your brand. So then you can collect emails and then you go and deliver real value. And most importantly, you have to design the webinar to convert, which means you teach what they expected to be told, and then you show how your product or service solved the problem. You share case studies or real stories. You add a clear CTA at the end so you can offer them a discount, free trial offer, etc. Then you make the follow-up emails count. And this works because it builds trust fast. You are not pitching cold. You are showing up as someone who understands their struggle and has a proven solution. If your product is actually useful and your webinar shows it in action, people won't just thank you, they will buy. And here's the bonus part, what not to do when you're trying to get your first customers. First thing is, stop offering everything for free. It feels generous, it feels like you are removing barriers, but in reality, when people don't pay, they don't commit. Free trials often go unused, free access gets ignored, and when there's no investment, there's no urgency to try anything. So charge something, even if it's small, you can offer a discount, a soft launch price, or a founder deal. Just don't give it away thinking that this will build loyalty, because it won't. People value what they pay for, and paying even a little makes them want to give it a shot. Also, don't pretend it's risk-free. Make it feel risk-free. People hesitate when something is new, so especially from a brand they've never heard of. So don't just throw them a 14-day free trial and hope they are going to stick around. Instead, you can offer a real guarantee. If you try it and it sucks, I will give your money back. No fine print, no conditions, just clarity. And this works because it removes the fear of losing. It triggers something psychologists call the zero risk bias, when people are more likely to act if they feel there's nothing to lose. You can even give your early offer a name, something simple like founder friends or beta circle, just to make it more exclusive and personal, just a small touch for a big impact. Also, stop obsessing over your logo, your website, or your brand colors. None of these should be the priority right now. If you're still tweaking your about page before you talked to 10 real people, your focus is in the wrong place. People buy solutions, and it's your time to prove you can offer this solution. At this stage, your job is to talk to humans, not perfect pixels. And don't outsource sales before doing it yourself. This is your product, your service. You built it. You understand the problem. You have to be the one selling it first. You can't improve your offer, your pitch, or your messaging if you are not hearing real objections, real questions, and real reactions from people who might actually pay for it. Sales feel uncomfortable. Just do it anyway. No one else will care as much as you, and you will learn more in 10 conversations than in 3 months of guessing. Get in touch if you want me to help you with your marketing strategy, and subscribe for more videos like this one.